1725 and 1779. The treaties are living agreements that establish the rules for an ongoing treaty relationship between nations. We pay respect to the knowledge embedded in the Mi'kmaq custodians of the lands and waters, and to the elders past, present, and future. The officials for today's match are Lauren Hall, Michael Cormier, Stanley Doucette, and Tony McCormick. The Atlantic Collegiate Athletic Association and Mount St. Vincent University would like to remind you that as a partners in fair play, we are attempting to remove verbal and physical abuse from sporting activities. Therefore, profanity directed at any fan, player, or official will not be tolerated and may result in your ejection from the game.
All right, welcome into Mainland Commons for our second women's semifinal matchup. This time versus the number 2 ranked MSVU Mystics against the number 3 ranked King's College Blue Devils. My name is Chris. I'll be with you on the call today, and next to me is my brother. His name is Josh.
Excited to be here.
So to kind of set the stage for everybody, lots happening in this matchup. So we just watched the Holland Hurricanes take down the number 4 seeded St. Thomas Tommies 7-0. And with Holland hosting the national competition this year in Summerside PEI, what that means for this game is the winner of this semifinal will go on to represent Nova Scotia at that national competition as well as Holland, because both will square off in the final tomorrow, which puts even more added into the whole jam-packed action of what this game has in store. Now, to set the stage, this year, these teams have played a couple of times, as they do in ACAA play. Both games have been tight. The MSVU Mystics have won each game 1-0. The first game they played, a goal from Lendrum Harnish, sealed the victory. Unfortunately, she is injured and is unable to play in this game, so they don't have that option on the table this time. And then the second time they played, Amanda Volko scored in the 60th minute for a 1-0 MSVU victory. But the games have been tight, Josh, so what would you expect to see in this matchup here today?
I'm expecting more of the same, in all honesty. I think both of these teams, they can defend well. The key is just going to be who is able to ultimately find a couple opportunities and actually take advantage of them. So, honestly, I'm expecting a very tight game, potentially low scoring. Hopefully for those watching, we get a couple of goals for sure. But I'm just excited for it, especially with that added intensity of, I know it's a semifinal, but knowing that the winner also gets to go to nationals, it almost has the same vibe as a final. So I'm expecting a lot of intensity, a lot of effort, a lot of hard work from both sides, and hopefully we're in for a good game.
We're ready for kickoff. Here we are. King's College gets us going. Ball forward to Didiodado. Tracking back by Oki for the Mystics. That's Proudfoot looking to take the throw in. Finds the foot of Lovegrove, but isn't able to bring that ball down for a teammate, Didiodado. King's looking to move the ball around a little bit, unable to find that pass there.
I do, but I just brought a bunch just in case.
As Busillo on the switch. Back into Busillo. King's looking to grab a hold of the game, just trying to keep that ball. A good diagonal. Unfortunately, Little can't quite get her foot on the end of that one. Wayatru. Can't quite find the pass forward. It's a good header.
It's always interesting at the start of a game, too, to see what each team's plan seems to be. You know, who is it that's looking to dominate the ball? Who is it that maybe wants to try to press high? Is it both of them? So I think we're still in that kind of feeling out phase of this game. We'll look to see how things start to settle down. Good opportunity here in transition, though, for the Mystics.
Searching ball. Can't quite get in the end of that. That's Volko, the Mystics' leading scorer, breaking through there. It's Kate Burton stepping forward. Now over to Padfield. And out wide now. Wayatru clears the lines for Kings. Tamar who wins the throw-in. Kings isn't so sure. Oh, it is a Kings throw now. A little bit of confusion there.
We can see here when the Mount has the ball settled, Kings are right now looking to press high. So they're looking to apply pressure as quickly as they can, force the Mystics into mistakes, and they're able to do so there.
That's Busillo. Feeding the ball through, can't quite connect. Volko has it on the turn. And MSVU looks to push up. Oh, that's a foul there. Drawn by Padfield. Probably a good foul to take too, honestly. If you're Kings. If you don't make that tackle there, Padfield could be through on goal.
Absolutely.
Still a dangerous area for a free kick.
Sometimes it's what we call a tactical foul, knowing that if you don't take that foul, there's a potential for a breakaway or a 1v1 or something that's definitely dangerous. And while, a set piece here can be dangerous for sure, I would much rather be able to get 10 of our 11 behind the ball to defend a set piece here. I think it gives you a better chance to keep it clean.
That's Farrell on the ball right now. Looking to make something happen. Looks like that was something off the training grad. Didn't come off quite, though. It's Moores who does a good job keeping possession. It's Mars
See,
back.
once again, the Kings are just looking to move up the field, looking to apply pressure. Definitely can work out in their favor for sure. If they're able to nick a pass, they're able to jump in front. A foul there called on the Blue Devils. But again, when you do look to press high, especially with as many numbers as it seems like they've been sending, you're naturally going to leave space in behind. So it looks like Kings are playing with a back three, and then looks like one defensive midfielder in front. Looks like Wayatru might be playing just in front. So it seems like an attack-minded formation to start. We'll see how they start to shift as the game goes along, but could be some opportunities in transition for the Mystics.
Bounce able to regain possession. Good pass in there. Looking out wide. There's Diodato. Good tenacity there by Oki, yes. Volko on the ball. Looking wide, can't quite connect.
See the idea. It's a good idea.
Throw in far side. Mystics.
migrated, not this and that. It's like, you're giving the game away, guys.
Red card all over the place, and like as soon as one little bit of adversity, it's all over.
Yes.
You definitely see so far, as often the case in games like this, both teams are really trying to feel each other out. Like we said in the pre-game, both like contests this year were tight, 1-0 games, and you know the last thing you tend to want to do in the first 15 minutes of a semifinal is make a big mistake, especially when you know it's likely going to be close. And so sometimes that means, Josh, you take less risks. You try to feel your way into the game a little bit more before you start trying to get too adventurous.
Absolutely. I really think we're seeing that on both sides. It seems, we've talked about already, that Kings looks the more willing to kind of step out and try to press the ball. You can see the Mystics, they seem to be set up in a traditional back four with 2 defensive midfielders sitting in front, which again is naturally going to make you a lot more difficult to break down, and I think we've seen that already. The question would just be how well they can attack out of that, if they can still pick some opportunities to get forward. But I fully agree with you. First 15 minutes, it's okay to maybe play it a bit more safe.
Dangerous ball in. Good header though by Oki. Russillo battling, can't quite get there. That's clear whip by Burton. Hadfield coming back to help out. Now Kings in possession. Looking for that wing, can't quite come off. Volko has it. Just plays it forward. Played long. Oki stepping in. Big tackle. Another good tackle too by MSVU. That time it's Clark coming forward.
No, Oki's been solid to start. You can definitely see why they're on the first team.
Oki now a third-year player out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Last year, Oki, they made the second team. This year, first team. One of those situations where the longer you're on a team, and the more reps you get, the more you grow into that position, right?
Absolutely. I think one thing for the Mystics as well that's going to be key is how well they can get number 9, Amanda Volko, involved. Another first-team selection, playing in what is often referred to as the number 10 role, that attacking mid spot. She's likely going to be key for a lot of the opportunities that the Mount can create. Is how can she get involved, either as a first pass when they're building up, potentially as a second pass if they can play it off of Padfield's feet up front. It's going to be interesting to see how well that comes together.
Well, especially I think you've seen so far too. Like Padfield has been looking to get in positions to get that ball 2 feet and then play off. Where Padfield really looks like she's trying to be the target up there, and I think Volko is going to be adventurous, looking to play off of the pockets, play off of the feet, look to either create for others off of Padfield or for herself. And when you score 15 goals in a season, that's usually what that means, is you're finding ways to get her involved.
Absolutely. And even for the Mystics, if Padfield's able to hold the ball up, they have a lot of pace on the wings as well. With Mara on one side and then Rookie of the Year, Allen on the other. A lot of opportunities to potentially find a ball in behind, especially against the back three of Kings, where if they're able to attack quickly, they may find themselves in a 3v3. And I don't know about you, but if I'm attacking in a 3v3, I'm happy. All it takes is one mistake, one defender to step a little too early, and there's some opportunities. But a good one here for Kings.
Russillo looking to create. Good defending, though. I think Russillo's going to be one to watch for Kings. 2-time first team all-conference selection. Now in her second year. And when you come into the year in your first year and you make first team all-conference, it means you got a lot of quality to you.
Absolutely.
That's Anna Lucas getting there first, clearing lines. Got a good crowd out here for this one, too. Always nice to see, especially when you got two local teams. Big tackle on the sideline. Looks like all ball, though. No foul.
Like a fantastic tackle there from Adams.
She's on the ball again. Adams looks inside for Basillo. I'd like to keep.
We're just over 10 minutes in now, and it seems like, again, we're starting to settle into how, at least before any goals are scored, how this first half is going to look. A lot of the play has been in the Mount Mystics half. In part, intentionally, it seems like with the Mystics, again, like we talked about, they do have extra numbers deeper. They're looking to play it safe. They're looking to stay compact, stay difficult to beat. And Kings are happy to play on the front foot. They're happy to press. And so far, they've had some opportunities for sure.
I think the one question with Kings, too, is where are their goals going to come from? And they've had a great season. They win 8-4, with the only losses coming to Holland Hurricanes both times and these MSVU Mystics in those close 1-0 games. But the leading score only has 6. And so they've been able to spread that kind of responsibility around. But the question is sometimes in big games is, if you need one, who do you go to get it for you? And maybe it's through set pieces. Maybe it is through team combination play. But I think as the game goes on, we'll kind of see who's going to step up into that position to be the one to put a finishing touch.
Absolutely. And sometimes that can be the reason you play a certain system. Again, we see Kings have more numbers forward than the Mystics. Let's see how this set piece turns out. It's a good ball there. We see they have more numbers going forward. Sometimes that can be a way to kind of make up for maybe not having someone who just is a natural goal scorer who's going to put away 15 goals in a season. That's okay. Those don't always come around. So being able to play, again, in this kind of 3-5-2 shape it looks like Kings are settling into, it gives you 2 attackers. It gives you more people getting involved as maybe the second runs joining in late. Sometimes that can be what you need to kind of create those finishes. The challenge, of course, is you leave gaps for potential counters like we almost saw there from the Mystics. And so far, it does seem like the Mystics are happy to sit a bit deeper, invite that pressure, and then look to attack in behind it when they're able.
Hadfield looking to hold that ball up, play back and look forward. Volko on the ball now.
Those are the moments we talked about, looking to get Volko involved to feet. Opens up a lot of this. It's a great overlap from Oki.
Good recovery run though. That's Proudfoot making sure that no danger comes in that immediate phase of play, but MSVU does have a corner.
Just like we talked about, you saw Volko dropping in, collecting the ball to feet. That's naturally going to draw Kings defenders out of position. So if she's able to control that first ball, there's a lot of space now in behind that they can attack. Mystics were able to find it there, just couldn't quite get the last touch.
That's going to be a big responsibility for Atcher today in that pivot spot for Kings to be able to handle the dangerousness of Volko. It's a great turn. Can't quite find the cut back. Good defending.
That's well defended from Kings.
Had her on the shoulder drop. Rounded the corner, but couldn't quite get the head up in time to cut that ball back. Good defending.
Flashes like that. That's why Allen was able to walk away last night with Rookie of the Year. Second team all conference. She could be quick.
Steve Diodato coming inside. Good tackle though by Volko. Allen working hard on that wing. Gets it inside. Padfield looks at goal. It's a good save. That's Kuzmik. Down quickly to make the save. That's positive from MSVU. Had a couple good opportunities the past 3 minutes. Good phases of play. A couple of set pieces. Keeping the ball in the offensive third. Making Kings work a little bit harder now.
Those are the opportunities that the Mystics are going to look for. Right? We've talked about it through the first 10 minutes. They really sat back. There wasn't too much going forward. And that's okay. If you stay compact, if you stay difficult to beat, all it takes is a few moments like we just saw. Sometimes it's off a corner. Sometimes it's in transition. Staying difficult to beat sometimes is the best way to start a game.
I think that shows for MSVU their season this year. They only had 1 goal against the entire year until their last couple of games against Holland College. Exactly. And so a staple for this team from the very start is you start defensively, you're solid, organized, in a good shape, and then you're able to find places to attack from that that formation and understanding. Volko with an unbelievable touch to get that ball down. Back heel, brings it down. That's Allen now driving. Cuts it to Padfield. Kings does a good job to get back in numbers.
Speaking of MSVU defensively, it also helps to have a first-team all-conference goalkeeper in Morgan Gillis. So, like you mentioned, very few goals against through most of the year. And another set piece here for the Mystics.
That's Allen proving that she's causing problems out here in this left wing. Kings needs to find a way to solve her penetration right now. We have Oki. They stepped up to take a free kick in a dangerous area. Where are you looking to put this ball right now, Josh?
Ideally, you want to float it just over top of that Kings back line. Pretty much right there.
It's close. A good header, though. I think that's Theoharopoulos.
You're really just looking to cause some chaos with that ball over top. So again, if you can put it just behind the defenders, they don't really want to drop back. They don't really want to have to deal with that. And just that half moment of hesitation sometimes can be enough for a bounce to go your way.
We saw that last game, actually. One of the goals for Lepine was a free kick from around that same area, cleared that back line, and she was able to flick on.
Exactly. Good hold-up play there from Padfield.
It's been a good phase of play here for the Mystics the past 5 or so minutes. Sustained pressure.
Kings have weathered it. They've done well as well. I know they're looking to play on the front foot. They're looking to play as much of this game in the Mystics half as possible. But again, sometimes you do need to fall back a bit and remain solid defensively, and so far they've been able.
Allen again causing problems, gets that ball out wide, cuts it back. Big save by Kuzmic. And an important header by Theoharopoulos.
Good outlet there from Kuzmic as well, looking to spring a counter.
Oki in recovery. There's Diodato that was driving. Can't quite get the return ball back. Good pressure. Falls to Volko.
Great battle from Miatru there to win that back.
Good body position. Look forward for the target. Back to Yatru. Sprays it wide, but too far. I think it's been a positive first 20 minutes for both teams. I think we've both seen each team have a little bit of sustained pressure on the opposition, which is good. You know, you want each team to feel like they're a part of the game. You know, you can take the confidence that you feel like you can and need from that. If you're one of them on the field right now.
I think it's exactly what we expected, honestly. A close game, very much back and forth. We haven't really seen either team really take a hold of the game so far, which sometimes can make for a more exciting match, right? There's going to be those moments of back and forth. Each team's going to have their opportunities, have their stretches. I think it's been exciting so far.
Another opportunity to swing a ball in here. Put it in a dangerous position. We see the MSVU Mystics pushing up the field, sending some of the taller players forward, looking to get ahead on it. Kuzmic deals with that one as well. Composure by the Mystics to reset that. Find a pocket of space in the half space there. Good step by Oki after that square pass. Allen now looking to drive. It's Proudfoot that was defending.
Good help there from the Kings defenders. It's well won.
And that's an adjustment you'd probably like to see if you're Kings right now and Allen's been, you know, causing those problems up that wing, to make sure you have that help defense come back, be able to double when needed.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Especially, again, Kings in the back three. There's Proudfoot there that's closing down the ball and trying to slow Allen's progress. As we see an opportunity for Kings here. Well defended by the Mystics. But again, we see Proudfoot trying to slow the ball down as Diodato is looking to come back and help out. And perfectly executed that time. They're able to double. They're able to win the ball back. Kings is going to be looking for more of that.
Theo Haropoulos dealing with the problem. High press there by the Mystics, though. Wins the throw-in.
Bit of confusion there, but able to sort it out. Great touch there from Mar.
Right into Volko. Back to Mar. Priscilla with the tackle. Searching ball. Proudfoot deals with that.
We're starting to see a few adjustments from the Mystics here now that they've been able to get a bit more of a stronghold over the match now. Their two center mids, it seems like Burton is staying a bit deeper now, especially when they have the ball. And we're seeing a Farrell play a little bit more as a box-to-box center mid almost. On that right side, she's looking to get more involved. So we're seeing Volko drift a bit further towards the left, Farrell stepping into that space. And it's what you would want to do when you're able to get a bit more control of the game. It gives you that one extra number going forward. We have an opportunity here for the
Hadfield
Mystics.
coming through. It's a mistake by Theo Haropoulos.
Well recovered,
Good,
though.
well day. Recovers back, makes a big tackle. Danger averted for Kings after a little mistake. But good when you make up for your own.
And that's exactly it.
That's it.
Typically the sign of a good defender is sometimes in possession, they may turn it over, there may be a bad pass, a bad touch, but it's what happens after that. It's how quickly can you flip the switch and try to win it back. That time, fantastic.
I think you can see too, as you mentioned, Farrell's moving more into that gap with Burton sitting in the pivot. I think it's causing a little bit more problems for Kings. I think for Kings too, you see as much as possible trying to keep numbers forward, and they're trying not to get pinned back. But the more people that MSVU throws forward, the more you have to account for it, which is getting Kings in a bit more of a defensive set. It makes it a little bit harder to have your own chances to get forward and counter. As Gavis chasing that down, can't quite get there ahead of Gillis though. And look at that touch by Mar, looking to set it through the pad field. Gets it down, looking for Allen. That's good interplay by MSVU. Quick counter, 2-3 people, couple touches, almost an opportunity on goal.
It's like you just mentioned as well, Kings, they started the game on the front foot. They started the game pressing high. As you get pinned a bit deeper, it can be tough to find the outlet. Even that last time they won the ball, they're looking to now play quick and behind. Whether or not that's what they intend to do, whether or not that's what they want to do, it's kind of where they're getting stuck right now. Not to say it can't be dangerous, and absolutely those counters can create some opportunities. As we see a good take here from the Mystics. Well defended again. But I'm sure Kings will be looking to get a bit more control over the game. We see again there, they're looking to play quickly to just relieve that pressure. I'm sure they would love to get that ball settled and be able to pinch a bit higher up the field.
Looks like, too, they've actually flipped sides with Allen and Mar. And so now Allen's playing off the right side, Mar's playing off this left side, which is a fun tactic that I think we see fairly often in this sport, where sometimes you want different matchups. You want different people putting different pressure on the opposition. And so flipping those wingers like that can also create a little bit of a matchup difference in some capacity, too.
Absolutely. It really just shows the fluidity of the modern game, right? It's not always as rigid as it's been, where if you start in one shape and then you just remain as compact in that shape as possible. We can even see with the Mystics, one thing that's happening a lot in the modern game is teams will have multiple systems. There'll be a shape that you want to sit in when you're out of possession, when you're trying to defend and stay compact, and then when you're able to win the ball, that shape may change. So we're already seeing that with the Mystics, like we talked about. Defensively, they're in a bit more of like a 4-2-3-1. They have a good opportunity here.
Allen with the cutback. Marr looking at the end of it.
Well defended. Again, defensively, they're in that 4-2-3-1, playing a bit more compact. But as the Mystics, again, have gained more control, that 4-2-3-1, it's becoming more of like a 4-3-3. They're getting more of their center mids forward because they know they have control of the game. And once again, Kings still pinned deep. I'm sure they would love to have the corner on the other side of the field. See if they're able to get some numbers forward.
Now they have to defend it. MSVU brings one short. Pull a few Kings defenders out. Create some more space in that box. Decide to go short.
Great take from Volko.
Cut back. Ooh, that's close. Padfield, a good cut near post. Couldn't quite wrap her foot around it, though, to make it find the target.
That's twice now you've seen the Mystics play those corners short. You can clearly see they're pretty dangerous with the ball at their feet.
What does playing a short do?
It's going to just create chaos, right? It's going to force Kings defenders to step out of the spots where maybe they want to be. A lot of the times defensively on corners, you're going to have a set structure. You're going to have roles. Well, as soon as that ball is played short, we're now back into open play, right? So someone's going to need to step out. Someone's going to need to close down the ball. And if you win 1v1 one time, all of a sudden, we have cutback opportunities like we just saw there. So I would expect to see the Mystics continue with those short balls.
Pressure again there by Allen, who seems to be causing problems no matter what wing that she's put on. We get our first substitute of the game here. That's Adams coming off. They're moving Proudfoot to the left side of the back three we see them set up in. And coming into the game is Kennedy McKill, third-year player out of Bedford. And it's possible, Josh, maybe that is to deal with the threat that the MSVU wingers have been going through. Just good body position there. Georgia Gavis can't quite get her foot in that one. Still a bit of pressure here by Kings.
This is what Kings has been looking for, right? The opportunity to just get numbers further forward. I'm sure what they'll look to do now is control the game as best as possible, right? Try to keep those numbers high, keep their wingbacks involved, keep their center mids high up the field. Because this is what we saw for the first 10 minutes, and Kings looked dangerous, right? Forcing them out to sit a bit deeper like they're doing right now. That's what's going to play nicely into Kings' hands.
It's a good spell here. That's Iatru trying to get in the end of that. Opportunity well out by Gillis.
Saved by Gillis there.
She had little bearing down on her, but came out boldly. Made sure she made that ball hers. Allen winning that first ball, playing through Padfield. You can see the hold-up play. Volko looking to get involved off of the feet of Padfield. Lucas clearing it long, getting her team to step up.
Looks like the Mystics are looking to press here. The Kings able to play through it well. And this is where we may see some opportunities come from, right? If you're able to beat that initial press, unfortunately they're not able to do here. It's generally where you're going to have
if she
some
gets away without a yellow. No, the yellow's coming. That's Fusillo into the book. Tactical foul there, lose possession. You know. If you don't make that, and you have them bearing down on goal at that point, a lot can go wrong.
Especially someone with the quality of Volko, you definitely don't want her carrying towards the 18.
It's tough though, having a yellow in the 31st minute. That's a lot of game left to go. Shots, be careful now, Busilla. Dangerous opportunity for the mount. Set piece. Didn't get a lot on it, but good work there by the Mystics to keep the danger up. Allen flicking it back. Volko's there in the area. Can she get a foot on it? No. And cleared out by Theoharopoulos. As an opportunity for MSVU.
Absolutely.
First sub 2 coming in for the mount. That's Padfield coming out. She's done a good job holding that ball up high.
I agree. I thought she's had a fantastic start.
You wonder too if that's what Coach Sear had asked for her in that game, is to come in, give them a good 30 minutes, hold that ball up, be strong, and then come in for this last 15 minutes with a change of pace.
Very well could be.
And that's Hannah Wheaton, number 13, 30-year player to Dartmouth that's coming in the game. We talked about too often in these games, you want to weather the storm and find your footing, and often like a good hold-up striker can do that for you. Puts the pressure on the defense, try to get other players involved, and then once you all settle into the game, then there can be different kind of change-ups.
Absolutely. And especially seeing how that first 10 minutes went, it's very likely that the Mystics knew that Kings was going to come out and try to play the way they had. So again, like you mentioned, weather the storm, play a bit deeper, 2 pivots, 2 defensive midfielders to start, and try to, again, start solid. And that's naturally going to play nicely into having a target up front that can hold the ball up. And now that the Mystics have a bit more control, now that the game is a bit more open, like you said, maybe now it's time to look to get a bit more pace.
Referee's inspecting the ball. Must have a little bit less air than it's supposed to. New ball in the field. I believe it's a Mystics throw on this near touch line. Oki to take. Shamar. Some pressure. Loose touch by Oki. Oh, Georgia Gavis almost sneaks that one through.
Well done by
Big
Clark
touch
there.
by Clark, yeah. That would have been dangerous.
Sometimes it's moments like that in these close games. Great
Ooh,
tackle
big
there.
tackle. All ball.
It's just small moments
Wow.
like that. in
And
these tight
King's,
games.
and King's throw.
Sometimes it's one turnover, it's one misplaced pass. It can feel so small, but if that creates that 2v1, Kings almost took advantage there.
All you need is a little bit of quality in some moments, right? 10 seconds and poof.
That's it.
Could be 1-0. Lucillo on the ball, gets it down. Proud foot, loose touch. Theoharopoulos deals with it though.
How about the composure from Theoharopoulos so far?
And that's why makes that first team all-conference selection. Rock in the middle of that back of a 3. And that center back in the middle of the back 3 is such an important role. Not only as someone who gets in the ball a lot, but like organizing your teammates, making sure you are that rock.
We talked about it a bit in the last game as well with Holland and Stu for moments of that game playing the same system. Sometimes being that central center back, it's a tough role. There's a lot of responsibility. Sometimes you're the last one standing at times if your center back partners get pulled out of position. I thought so far she's been fantastic back there.
Yeah, I played it too. It's a lot. It really is a lot. A lot of responsibility, a lot of space to cover sometimes. But when you do it well, it really makes the team tick. It's a loose touch there by Busillo. It's picked up by Wheaton. Spreads it wide to Marr. Good tackle by Atru. Oki on it now. Looking direct. That's Kuzma coming out. No trouble for her. Claims that ball. Another good ball forward. Moore's chasing it down. Sends it out for an MSVU throw.
there from Kings to try to retain the ball.
It's McKill.
At the same time, just great pressure from the Mystics, but Kings are able to play through it. And this can sometimes be where those opportunities come from, right? If you can beat that initial press, all of a sudden there's a lot of space to attack.
That's the risk of pressing too, right? You know, the reward is high because if you win it, you're in a very dangerous position with lots of space to attack. But if you don't win it, and you're able to kind of break those lines and bring it forward, I think that's where someone like Georgia Gavis is able to pick that ball up and create.
Exactly. Great composure again.
That's her there on the half turn. That's just what we're talking about, isn't it? Can't quite link it up, but she's doing a good job stepping into the spaces, collecting the ball, getting her body turned open and looking to be able to move that ball forward.
We can see for Kings, as Gavis and Lovegrove both drop in a bit deeper to get on the first ball, the Mystics center backs right now are following them. So for the Mystics, if they're able to win the ball back, fantastic. That's what they're going to look for, of course. But if Kings are able to play around that first pass and maybe draw that center back out of position, there could be a lot of space for the others to attack in behind. So we saw pretty recently there, Gavis dropping in. That could open up the space for Lovegrove to attack.
Kings having a good spell of their own right now. Good pressure, breaking on the ball well. That's Allen now on it on the far side.
Great tackle once again.
Steele Heropoulos.
Feels like she's been everywhere on this field so far.
I think so
Winning
too.
every tackle, being able to come out of it with the ball. Once again, we see a King's throw off of that tackle. That's when you know it was a fantastic one.
Foul there.
Kings will take this again, because this gives them an opportunity to move further up the field, just try to claim some of that territory again, and look to play as much of this game deep as possible.
Now we're entering the 40th minute here. We got about 5 more minutes of the first half, excluding added time. How important is this 5 minutes to either score or not concede? In your mind, Josh?
Well, it's critical. It's critical for both sides. Honestly, going into the half at 0-0, that's okay, right? You get some time to regroup. You can come out motivated, positive, feeling like there's a lot of good that's happening. On the flip side, if a 0-0 game, as we see an opportunity here.
Dealt with though by Lucas. That's Gavis cutting inside. Recoveries quick and strong by Mar.
Again, the difference of going in at half down 1-0 versus this 0-0, for both sides, they'll feel like they've had positive stretches. So I'm sure neither will want to be taking too many risks over these next 5 minutes.
At the same time, I feel like a goal here opens this game up entirely.
Absolutely.
Right? So from a viewer standpoint, one goal I think changes a lot how both these teams approach that second half coming out.
Absolutely. And of course, just as we say, nobody wants to go in 1-0 down at halftime. I'm sure both sides would take a goal.
Allen driving, cuts it back. Good foot by Achu. Make sure it doesn't come across. A little bit more back and forth now the past 2 or 3 minutes. We saw Gavis with an opportunity on the other side. Allen's been driving on this side. I think both teams looking to take some confidence into that halftime break.
Absolutely.
Always want the momentum. Big header there.
We can see, building on the conversation around fluidity and flexibility in the structures, we can see some flexibility from Kings as well. For a lot of this first half, they've had 2 up front with Gavis and Lovegrove playing up higher. But as we can see now, Gavis is dropping a bit deeper. Lovegrove is almost on her own up front. Sometimes that flexibility is what can create pockets of space to attack into. So It'll be interesting to see how that fluidity continues if they're able to pick up some opportunities with it. Even seeing Jermaine a bit higher as well. It's almost like they have one up front now and then two sitting just behind. It'll be interesting to see what they're able to do with that.
I think it also gives them more, numbers advantage in that middle too, where you see, I think the Mystics have had they've done a good job in the middle, where you see Farrell and Burton and Volko looking to get involved, and so when you drop that extra number into and you have a bit of a superiority in that area, sometimes it's easier to be able to like get the ball in there, create if you do want to get it wide from going inside, all that stuff. I think Kings is likely looking to do that as well.
That's exactly it, and it really too depends on. We see a good tackle.
Big tackle.
It depends on what the game plan is, right? If you're looking to play quickly and play in transition, sometimes having two up high as a starting point, it gives you that advantage. But if you feel like you're able to settle the game a bit more and have a bit more of the ball, having a few numbers drop a bit deeper, it creates more opportunities to build up, more passes that you can find, since you're not as reliant on that one ball over top. So it seems like Kings is looking to control the ball a bit more than maybe they did in the middle part of this half. But on cue, it looks like the Mystics are also trying to put some extra pressure on the ball.
Falls to Lucas. That's McKill. It goes out of bound. Ashamar now. To Oki to throw in. Sasha Clark. Not letting anything past her. Burton's got a good job there too, to sitting in that pivot gap all game. It's a good touch. That's Allen driving in on the cutback. Oh! Off the post. That's an opportunity right there for the Mystics.
Just on the edge of halftime, that would have been massive.
We talked about that swing of 1-0. You feel like the Mystics right now, they got confidence. They're feeling good. Allen right now is still causing problems coming down that wing. Good decision to cut that back.
Sometimes that's all it takes, is just that moment of brilliance, that flash of quality, right? We saw it from Allen there, able to beat two people off the dribble. That alone is going to cause some chaos for the defenders, and we saw they almost had the cutback. But once again, Kings remain solid. So as we expected, this game has been tight.
At this point, too, it looks like Kings is really just trying to get to halftime, regroup. At this point, you're trying to weather that storm. That's Oki looking to get the ball inside, a wave by Atru. Step there by Clark.
Once again, Clark's been solid back there.
And chasing that down was Wheaton. We are in the 45th minute. We're in added time here. 2 subs, not much stoppages. Likely only a minute or two. Lots of sustained pressure here. MSVU making sure they stay up here in the offensive third. Maybe trying to draw a corner to end. They do. Corner for MSVU. Opportunity to throw the center backs forward. Put that ball in a dangerous spot.
I suspect we'll see Kings play pretty deep to defend this, knowing it may be one of the last plays or two of the half.
Let's see if MSVU does end up playing short again. They're bringing Volko in. Sometimes, though, it is just to pull a few defenders out of that dangerous area. Corner flag blowing in her face. It's a good ball. Away by Kings. Let's see if they get this back to Nets Moores. Chase down by Lovegrove. Gavis in the ball. Looking to counter now. On Lucas comes across. Pressure though by Diodato. And that's halftime. Score 0-0. Number 2, MSVU Mystics versus the number 3, Kings College Blue Devils. We will be back with you for second half action in 10, 15 minutes.
Good game.
Welcome back to the second half. We got Volko driving forward, just into the game. That's a chance for St. John. Her first touch of the semifinal was almost a goal. It's a positive start for MSVU fans. Speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to Michelle and Terry Sanders watching from Nunavut, cheering on their MSVU Mystics. Hope we like that opportunity to kick off this second half. Josh, what do you anticipate seeing coming out of the gates here?
Honestly, I could see more of the same from the first half. Again, knowing that it's still 0-0, knowing that deadlock hasn't been broken, I really do think both sides are going to have seen a lot of positives in that first half. We'll probably see some small tweaks on either side, just knowing again that we've had time during the halftime break just to talk things over. But I'm expecting more of the same, right? I think Kings is going to look to play on the front foot when they can. We'll see who's able to really dominate the ball here.
Looks like we have a couple changes too. I see Allen has moved up high, playing the striker role for MSVU. Number 5, Kaylee Clare, has come in from BC over on that left wing. And as we just saw, St. Jean had that opportunity, number 18, playing here in the close right wing for MSVU, which means Wheaton and Marr have come out of the game to start the second half. Down with some pressure, Theo Heropoulos sends that out of bounds. We also have a substitution for Kings. We'll get that in a second. And St. Jean plays it in. That's Volko with an opportunity. Big tackle by McHill. Important tackle. To make sure the score remains at 0-0. Substitution for Kings. Little has come out of the game and Boudreau has come in. Now has to defend this corner. Played short by MSVU. Busillo chases on the back of Burton. Digging for it. Busillo wins it. Burton gets a touch, but for a Kings goal kick. Josh, what do you think about the start for the MSVU Mystics this half?
They've been on fire. They've been coming out with a lot of intensity. I mean, we're 3 minutes in, and that's 2 really good opportunities now. So we'll see if Kings has any adjustments they want to make. But really, I think it's a continuation of the first half. The Mystics had opportunities as well. Maybe not quite as good as the 2 they just created here, but you can see even right now, the press is on. They're looking to play high up the field. They're looking to win it back, just as they've almost done here. But Kings is able to break that press, and this is where some opportunities can come from.
Gavis sent that one forward.
Not quite coming off for them that time, but again, if Kings are able to win that first ball, that's a 2v2. And 2v2s are dangerous.
First few touches here now. Brought down now by Farrell. Spread wide to St. Jean. Theoropoulos with a foot in the right spot. I think I might have got a substitution wrong on the far side. It was not Boudreau that came in. That's actually Nicolau, number 7 for King's College. Atru dropping in the spot. Clear that ball. As Diodato not able to quite keep that ball in on the close touch line. Ball into Allen. Tackle by Atru. Burt now was looking wide. There was a touch there by McKill. Yes, there was. Corner for MSVU. For more sustained pressure by the Mystics. Hosts of today's ACAA championships. Lots and lots of fans in attendance for both schools, but you can certainly hear the Mystics cheering section this first 5 minutes of this half. Ball's in. Off for the header. That's St. Jean looking to get a foot on it. Can't quite. Pops out to Moores. And Kings can take a breath as now they look to counter.
This could be dangerous. Sometimes some of the most dangerous opportunities come off counters when you're defending a corner, right? The opposition, they're sending numbers forward. They're trying to get that goal. But if you can win it back, if you can play that quick transition outlet pass, there's a lot of space to attack. Not quite able to take full advantage there. But time and time again, we see goals come off of counters.
Good pressure there by Kings. Can't quite do anything with it.
Be interested to see how Allen plays in the middle up front this half as well. I thought in that first half, she looked fantastic on the wing. She was dangerous. They were finding the ball in behind. She was winning off the dribble. We'll likely see the Mystics looking to get the ball maybe to her feet more through the middle. But it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
I think it's fun to think about, right? Because we've had this the third different Mystic that's played that role so far this game. I think each of them have played it a different way.
I agree.
We saw Padfield start that game as a hold-up striker. We got Volko now looking to drive here. Cut inside. Can't quite connect with Kaylee Clare. Fun little bit of information on Kaylee Clare is these two teams did meet in this semifinal back in 2021. And the result was a 1-0 win for the Mystics. And it was Kaylee Clare who scored that goal. And on the wing now.
I'm sure she would take the same result again today.
Substitution here for Kings into the game. It's number 2, Adams, returning. Saw her a bit in the first half too. It's Lovegrove now looking inside to Georgia Gavis. First touch, big tackle. Gavis still on it. Back to Lovegrove. Looking to find a way to get a shot off. Can't beat Gillis.
A lot of space there for Diodato if they could have found that ball across. Looked like the Mystics had collapsed trying to shut down that first ball. Sometimes that one quick outlet pass, that one cutback, leaves a lot of space, especially for these wingbacks. You can see that they're tired though. It's a lot of work out on those wings. Sometimes it can be tough to get there, offensively and defensively. Great ball there.
Big ball through. St. Jean now in a goal. Coming across though. That's Proudfoot. Important tackle. Ball out for a corner. The Mystics press on here. Timely defending for the Blue Devils a few times so far this half. Important tackles. Getting their foot on it when they need to. But have to defend this corner now. Swung in by Farrell. Easy take here for Kuzmic. Kuzmic standing at 6 feet tall. Always good when your keeper has got a lot of height to her. Makes it easy to be first with those balls in the air.
Yeah, back to that King substitution. It looks like with Adams coming in, it's McKill that's going to play a bit further up. So we'll see if Kings ends up playing a bit deeper, which they may do. But we'll see how it
Allen
shapes
on the
up. Good
turn.
opportunity here for Allen.
Looking to get that shot away. Kuzmic, big save. St. Jean following up. Dealt with by Adams, though. Allen's causing problems and asking questions, though, isn't she?
Absolutely, she is.
St. John down right now. Making sure she's okay. Applause in the crowd. Looks like St. John is okay. Start from a King's goal kick. Lovegrove holding the ball up, looking to get teammates involved. Does a great job with that. Oki with the tackle. Good pressure by Nicolau on that far side. Came into the game at halftime just looking to get a few touches. Oh, that's dangerous. Good hands. That's keeper of the year. Morgan Gillis. Showing why. It's an awkward one to deal with. You don't expect them to go in, but sometimes they catch you off guard.
And those it's something we see in the pros as well. Sometimes it just catches you. You expect a cross, not quite fully aware of where the goal line is. Sometimes it catches you. Well handled there.
Kings with a bit of a spell here. It's the same pressure.
It looks like too that they're shifting the system a bit. It looks like they may be in a back four, which ultimately it's going to give their wingers more space to attack going forward. And sometimes, especially when we're into the second half of a game that's been close, sometimes just a slight change of system, it can be confusing for the opposition as well. Right after 60 minutes, you're kind of settled in. You know who is in which positions. You know which runs they're making, which gaps they're sitting in. All of a sudden, if the formation changes, if the system changes, you almost have to figure out what's happening now. And in some cases, that maybe it's a minute or two to just transition. That can be all you need. There's been a couple spots where we've seen even Diodato has been on that left side. She's had some space, so we'll see if they can take advantage.
Ball swung in, big header, no foul call. Lucas looks to get away, can't though. Ball in the 18, it's a dangerous area right now. Hits it, goes wide. Kleharopoulos was pushed forward for that corner, had an opportunity. And Josh, to your point about the formation, sometimes too in big games like this, you have a week to prepare, so you come in expecting one thing, right? So when another team shifts what their game plan is, suddenly, maybe the Mystics are a little bit, less prepared to deal with that change too. And sometimes, of course, you come in and you have all those kind of angles covered, but like you said, even just like a little bit of a change of intention with how you want to go forward, your structure, can have at least a little bit of confusion.
And that's exactly it, right? You already know these teams have played each other this year. The games have been close. I can guarantee they've gone to watch a few other games that each team has played. They
Good
likely
touch.
know the systems they want to play in. The Kings have an opportunity here to attack. Well defended. Again, they likely know the structures they like to play, how they look to attack, how they look to defend. So to your point, changing that up in a game like this, it can just be enough confusion that the sides need to adjust on the fly. And the quality's here for sure, both on the bench with the coaching staff, but also the players on the field to make those adjustments. But again, sometimes it takes 5 or 10 minutes just to see how it all shakes out. And in those 5 or 10 minutes, it can get real dangerous.
MSVU looking to build here. Allen dropped in that gap to receive that ball.
Ooh, good idea there from Gavis. Well defended though.
It's Nicolau playing that ball through. She's been good since she's come on. Looks dangerous on that wing. Lovegrove's chasing that down.
Great pressure from Lovegrove there. Again, we talk about it a lot. Sometimes there's those lost cause balls that, it's easy to just let it run. It's easy to just let the defenders go collect and try to set yourself up. Sometimes putting that extra bit of pressure on it can cause confusion, and all of this is coming off of that pressure. Let's see if they're able to turn it into anything. Well done there from Oki.
Vasilo looking to get that ball wide. Oki steps into the gap, prevents that from getting through. Now coming inside. And Gillis claims. Didato on the turn.
Fantastic turn.
Moores recovers though.
Great recovery from Moores as well.
Didato, a good turn to get out of pressure. Moores, good recovery. Good play both ways.
That's going to be an interesting battle to watch in the second half as well. Thought they both had a great game so far. We'll see who's able to get the upper hand in the second half.
Allen almost squeaks through. Good recovery by Adams.
Great step.
That's Clark now driving into space. Gosh, St. Jean out wide. Plays it to her. Looking to get it inside. Can't quite find the angle to cross. Kuzmik cleans that up.
Back to the conversation as well about Allen up front for the Mystics. We've talked about at the start of this half how we're curious to see how she played it up front through the middle. I thought so far she's been fantastic up there. She has been dropping in a lot more to get the ball to feet. And clearly she's got good feet. She's been able to collect, turn, create a lot of dangerous opportunities. So it really seems like for these Mystics, they're looking to get her the ball as much as possible. Right on cue. She's able to create in behind, not quite.
Ball out wide now to St. Jean. Adams closes that space. Does not give her any space to turn. Paige Moores now with the throw. Allen checking in. Volko coming in behind. Looking to turn.
Fantastic turn.
Can she finish?
Oh, what a save.
That is top class by Kuzmik. At full stretch.
You would have had the perfect angle to see that as well. That was sneaking into that bottom corner.
That was going in. Volko showing you why she scored 15 goals this year. Just couldn't quite find the finish.
You talked about earlier the advantages of having that tall goalkeeper, having the length. Full display right there, being able to stretch out and reach that far corner. Fantastic save.
Corner MSVU, substitution. Claire comes out. Back into the game is Wheaton. Kuzmik claims that too. Can't quite hold on. MSVU can't keep that in either. So Hannah Wheaton's re-entered the game. Kaylee Claire has left. We'll see if that pushes Allen back outside and Wheaton plays central or not. Volko now looking to get more involved.
Once again, that's Theo Heropoulos. If there's a 50-50 ball to be won, it seemed like every single time she's coming away with it.
On the hop. Russillo stepping into the gap.
Could be some space to attack here. Well done from Morris. Show the Mystics if you're hard done by with that one. Not much you can do about it.
Handball called. Free kick for the Blue Devils. See if they throw a few bodies forward. Busillo's going forward. Looking to try to get this over top of that Mystics back line into a dangerous area. That one's going to float right into Gillis though. Yohoropoulos steps up into the gap, wins that first ball. Can't find a target up front.
For the Mystics, it looks like with that substitution, there's been a couple of shifts. Volko seems to be playing up top through the middle now. Allen's moved back out wide. And then it looks like Wheaton is playing a bit further in behind of Volko now. So a few shifts there. And we've already seen, Volko, she can be dangerous. She's already had the opportunity up there. I think there could be a lot of trouble coming here if they're able to really attack and transition the way they have so far.
And Volko is one, too, to watch. Volko, she's had 15 goals this season. There was one game or one weekend where she won Athlete of the Week. Good penetration here. Well dealt with by Kings. She won Athlete of the Week towards the start of October, and there was a game that she scored a hat trick. And one goal was from open play, one from a pen, and then one from a direct free kick. So she's someone that can score in a lot of ways. And I think that's helpful in a game that's as tight as this, especially in these semifinal matchups where a lot of times it is a set piece that decides it. Call there goes against the Blue Devils. MSVU free kick.
Absolutely. Sometimes in a close game like this, there's not always going to be opportunities for open play. So, being able to take advantage of a set piece, being able to have those direct free kicks in those dangerous areas, I'm sure both teams would take one right now as a good opportunity to step ahead.
So how do you feel about Allen moving back out wide?
Honestly, so far, I think she's been dangerous no matter where she's played. In the first half, she was creating opportunities. We have a good chance here.
A little high there from Farrell.
Creating opportunities out wide, I think she's dangerous out there. Through the start of the second half, I think she's still just been just as dangerous through the middle. It'll be interesting to see how Volko plays up there. I know she's played the first, 65 minutes or so of this game just in behind, almost as that number 10, that attacking mid. So, again, they'll likely just be looking to get her the ball to her feet even more and see if Allen can kind of play off of it, find some spaces to attack it behind.
Morris can't keep that one in. Adams to Didi Adado. Tackle from Farrell, making the run now. See Allen getting involved. That's Wheaton on the ball. Burton steps into the gap. Good ball into a dangerous position for Allen. Always taking her away from goal though. Rolls out for a Kings goal kick.
We can see even in that phase of play, just the quality of Volko up front. The ball comes into her feet. Some zip on the pass, and she's still able to bring it down. She's still able to find that first pass. Not quite able to find it in transition, but Allen's looking to attack those spaces. She's looking to get forward. So, a lot of opportunities still to come.
Gillis gets that forward. Second ball now goes to Burton. He's able to grab control. Looks for Farrell. Looking to break that line. Good positioning by Adams back there. Farrell bring the ball down against Busillo. Help from Gavis comes across. Mystics are still able to break away. Volko brings that through. Wheaton can't quite get her foot on the end of that one. Calm touch by Paige Moores.
There wasn't a lot of money when I was there either, so maybe things didn't do
We're seeing Kings play a lot deeper in the second half than they were to start the game. With some of these subs, with some of the system changes, you can see that they're pretty clearly in that back four. They have those two defensive midfielders, pretty similar to how the Mystics started the game as well. And we're seeing that, as a result, they haven't had as much of the ball. They haven't had as much control. They've been a bit deeper. And part of this may be, again, trying to keep this game close, maybe not wanting to take too many risks at this point. But opportunities like this are really what Kings has been relying on in the second half. Those quick transitions, trying to find maybe the wingers in space to see if they're able to create something off of that. If they're looking to pinch that goal and go up 1-0, they may need to get a few more people involved in the attack.
I think it says a lot about the coaches, too. I mean, both coaches are experienced on these sidelines. That's handled by Gillis. Gary Carter, coach of the Blue Devils, is a two-time Coach of the Year in 2013 and 2014. Danielle Sear, coach of the Mystics. They've been Coach of the Year in 2021. So both teams have the benefit of having coaches and systems that have been there before, have competed at a high level. And so for moments like this, being able to be fluid through the game, switch things up, see where the game brings you and how to adjust to it is important. And having a strong coach adds that. St. John, Adams, important touch there.
And to your point on the coaches, I think that's also why we've seen both teams be able to manage the fluidity of the other. So we talked earlier in the half about how sometimes changing the system can cause that bit of confusion and potentially open up some opportunities. Well, the game is still 0-0 for a reason, right? They've made those changes, and each coach, each team has been able to adjust, right? They've been able to make whatever tweaks and changes are needed to still retain some control of the game, and it's been on full display. Again, like we talked about at the very beginning, we're now just over 70 minutes into the game, and it's been neck and neck. Both teams have had opportunities. The game's been close. Both teams have defended well. I think we're in for a fantastic last 20 minutes, maybe more here.
Well, there was just a foul throw there, so that went to the other side, and the whistle blew. MSVU now, though, had in possession. It's Farrell spreading it wide, can't quite reach Allen. Gavis can't bring that one down. Valko on the turn, looking to get enough space to get a shot off, can't quite. It's Nicolau now clearing the lines, giving Kings a chance to breathe here, reset up. Turn by Wheaton, got to create that space. And the kill there.
Kings in the second half, it seems like they've had a hard time getting Lovegrove involved up front. She's been fairly isolated. If they're looking to create in transition, they may need to find some ways to get, maybe it's her dropping a bit deeper to collect, maybe it's someone else stepping a bit higher as well to close the gap. It feels like there's a lot of space between her and the rest of the team right now.
That's one player too, just had the ball. Busillo, I feel, if Kings wants to have a little bit more success in that link play, she's a two-time first team all-conference player that they can look to get more involved.
Absolutely.
And we have a player down here for the Mystics. Getting some attention there on the touchline. Both teams using this as an opportunity to grab a little bit of water. It's a hot day out here today, the end of October.
Talking about coaching adjustments, now's your chance, right? Probably a lot of tactical conversations that we'll have on these benches for the next 30 seconds to a minute or so. A lot of adjustments, a lot of changes that both teams can make here.
I believe that's Oki getting attention. Hopefully they are okay. Appears they're coming to their feet. Putting a ton of weight right now on that foot. But we'll see if they're able to get back in this game shortly.
If Oki has to come out, that could be a big loss for the Mystics. First team all conference. Thought so far they've had a fantastic game. Not afraid to get forward, not afraid to press the ball. Winning a lot of 50-50s. There hasn't been much happening down that left side of the Mystics. And Oki's been key in that. It looks like they're going to need to make a sub here.
So right now, in the meantime, it looks like Allen will just drop back a little bit more into that left back role just to cover that space until that decision is officially made. And yes, it does appear there will be a sub coming in. Hopefully Oki is okay and it's nothing long term. But entering the game, re-entering the game is Padfield. So we'll see exactly what the adjustment is here for the Mystics.
Looks like St. John might have moved back to left back.
So yeah, St. John, yep, looks like is in at left back. Maya Allen's out here in the right wing now. Cut, that's Gavis, brings it down, cleared by Moores, not all the way. Busillo, big shot, Gillis! With sure hands for the Mystics, that was a big opportunity for Kings.
And once again, we can see why Gillis is that first team all-conference goalkeeper. Not just making the save, but being able to have the safe hands to hold on to that, that's difficult.
Collision there in midfield. Kuzmic comes out, grabs that ball. But Josh, you think that gives Kings some confidence here coming forward as we enter the 77th minute?
I think absolutely. Again, I think it's been pretty clear the last 20, 25 minutes or so, the Mystics have definitely had the upper hand. I think they've been applying pressure, they've been creating opportunities, but once again, Kings is looking to attack in transition. Absolutely think this gives them confidence.
Yeah, Nicolau with a good drive up that wing. Cut back, didn't quite find anybody. Mystics now transition. Volko looks to get that forward, but it's a loose touch. Clark up. Offside here on Kings.
I could see Kings look to attack down that right-hand side now that Oki's had to come out of the game, knowing that St. John is an attack-minded player, right? She's played a lot of this game up on the wing. Kings could look to try to attack that left side. See if maybe she's feeling uncomfortable out there as she's getting a feel for that left back role. And I think both of those opportunities, we're seeing them come through that right side for Kings.
Ball spread out wide. That's Wheaton now. What does she want to do? Looks to cut back. Tries to get that ball inside. Bustillo clears. Nicolau again now driving forward. Lovegrove pulls wide. Looks to feed it. That's Lucas. And foul on Lovegrove. It's good positioning there by Anna Lucas.
Once again, that's another good opportunity in transition for Kings. There's a lot of space to attack there. In these last even 2 or 3 minutes, that's now, 2, 3 good opportunities. That's going to give them a ton of confidence heading into this last 10 minutes.
And a lot of it is coming from that right side through Nicolau too. She's getting the ball to her feet. She's doing a good job penetrating. That time was a good run off the ball from Lovegrove, pulling away, drawing that defender. Nicolau makes one commit, dishes that ball. Anna Lucas just with a good recovery to make sure that Lovegrove couldn't get her foot on the end of that. You can see why the Mystics backline has done so well this year. Organized, great recovery, good communication. But Kings is searching. And they're getting closer to it too. It's Nicolau again. Past St. Jean. Driving. Lucas closing the angle. Again, does a good job seeing that ball out of bounds. You can tell the Oki is missed. St. Jean is really good going forward. It looks a little bit less comfortable at left back. That's Diodato coming out of the game for the Blue Devils. We'll see if it's a like-for-like change. Coming over to this left side. That's Little re-entering the game.
A lot of space here for the Mystics. Let's see what they can do.
Has Wheaton wide. Will she drive in a little bit to create? Tries to cut that back on the right foot. St. Jean up to the back of Nicolau that time. Does enough. Force her to play that one out wide. And St. Jean will come out of the game. Coming into the game, number 6. That's Chason.
It looks like for the Mystics, the The wingers have swapped sides once again. I know we spent some time in the first half talking about that.
Gives us Maya Allen down that left-hand side again. Wheaton's moved over to the right. Since Padfield came into the game earlier too, that's pushed Volko back to that 10 role, that attacking mid. Looking to get the ball off of Padfield and Crate coming forward. And Little coming in too, I think, is important. Little's one of the seniors here on this Kings team, and we got around 10 minutes left of regulation here to play, of regular time. Of course, if the game is tied, we'll walk you through that. There'll be extra time. But in a moment like this, it's good to have that senior experience in the field. Transition now. Padfield pushes into space. Big tackle. No foul. No foul on Theoharopoulos.
Kings will definitely feel hard done by with that. Looked like that could have been a foul. Likely even a yellow if they were to call it.
Yeah, Mystics fans won't be happy about that one. But ref deemed that Theoharopoulos got ball, which makes it a good tackle.
Great work from Padfield, though.
Important touch, too, because if Padfield is able to push that through, that's a clear opportunity bearing down on goal. Another couple important players here for Kings. Ayachu sitting in that pivot role in midfield has been good today. Another senior. So someone her teammates will be looking to. Proudfoot, another one. In at center back. Trying just to make sure they stay calm. Play their game. Volker looking to come through. Nice Proudfoot there coming across. On the Mystic side, we've seen Anna Lucas make a couple of plays. That's a senior for them. Leading by example. Volko now, too, is in her 5th year. First team all-conference player this year, 15 goals. Had a real breakout year in this 5th year. Theoharopoulos clearing the lines. Is a foul this time by McKill. Maya Allen draws that one. Gives the opportunity for the Mystics in the 83rd minute here to get this ball into the box.
Looks like Clark's going to go for it for the Mystics as well.
Bringing the center back up. Get some more height in that box.
We've talked about it before around corners, but if Kings are able to win this ball back quick and find some opportunities in transition, there's a lot of space up there. Lovegrove by herself could be a 2v2, and we might have the opportunity here. Let's see if Kings can join in.
Chason couldn't get that ball over top. Anna Lucas does a good job, though. Plays that ball back to Morris.
There's some opportunity if Kings can press here. Let's see if they want to commit some numbers forward. Great effort there.
Kings looking forward. You can feel the intensity in this game. Ball comes loose. Clark is there first, though. And Josh, how important would a goal be at this point in this game, given the history of these two teams, the lack of goals in total across all the games they've played, 0-0 right now?
A goal would be massive, and I think both sides know it. I suspect both sides came into this game knowing it would be close, knowing that it would likely be a low-scoring contest like we've seen. And you better believe that both sides are going to try to push for that goal in regulation time, especially. That extra half an hour of extra time, potentially. It's a lot, especially with the second game tomorrow. It's a lot.
Remember how much this one means, too, right? Holland College is already qualified for Nationals because the host, the winner of this game, will go to Summerside to compete at the CCAA Nationals this year. And you feel, too, in these moments, I mean, we've both been in them, but, you know, when you're at this point, it's 0-0. Are you really looking at it like you just don't want to give up that spot? Is that Gavis is through? Gillis closes the angle. Can't quite wrap that ball around. Kings is getting some confidence right here. Josh, do you feel in moments like this when it's this close, 85th minute, it's 0-0? Are you really more trying not to lose this game, or are you really trying to go for it? How do you feel that comes out in these moments?
It can be a slippery slope because you obviously want to stay solid. You want to stay compact. You don't want to give away easy opportunities. But if you commit too many numbers deep, you're likely going to invite pressure. And we're kind of seeing that right now. The Mystics seem to be playing a bit deeper, although we'll see what they can get here. Good opportunity in transition.
Padfield making the run through, slip through by Volko. Well out again by Kuzmic. She's had a great game back there.
To continue the thought, the more numbers you kind of commit defensively, it can be very difficult over these next 6 or 7 minutes to weather that storm. Again, knowing that both teams really want that goal, you don't want to be the team that commits too much defensively to the point where you're just constantly inviting pressure.
So how are they feeling right now, too? Take us through the mind of the student athlete at this moment. 0-0, semifinal, nationals on the line.
There's a lot of pressure, that's for sure. And I'm sure each of them are feeling it. But we'll see who can turn that pressure into that extra bit of motivation. Who can really commit to these last few minutes. I'm sure they're feeling tired, but at the same time, when the situation is what it is, you're not even feeling that at all. It's all adrenaline. You're just looking to compete and find opportunities just like this for Kings.
That's Little now driving inside, finding Busillo. Looking to get through to Gavis. Touch there, though, by Clark. Back to Busillo. Loose pass, though. Can't get it. MSVU ball. Relieves the pressure a little bit. Substitution coming in here for the Blue Devils. That's Proudfoot coming out of the game. Sliding Little now back to that right back position.
Now move Gavis out to the left wing as well. It's felt like through a lot of the second half, she hasn't been on the ball as much as she was in the first. So I could see Kings looking to change that. They've had a lot of space on the wings. And Gavis is definitely one that when she gets the ball to her feet, she can be dangerous. So I could see Kings looking to, again, move her out wide, try to get her more involved, and see if they can't, nick that goal, take that 1-0 lead in these last couple minutes.
And then Germaine, who came back in now, playing that 10 role. Padfield with a lot of energy, trying to close that ball down, but barrels through the back of Theodoropoulos. Quick foul.
And once again, we talk about the mentality. Those are those moments where you can see how much both of these sides want it. There's going to be a crazy amount of competition and again, that adrenaline over these last couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken this back to artists. It really feels like a blur at this point. The time kind of goes away a little bit. You're just trying to do what you want to do. Iatru with a big tackle there, important. Ball pin around right here. Theodoropoulos is able to clear. Back in now, though, by Burton. Over the head of Little. Allen looking to get back on the ball. Little putting pressure on there. Corner MSVU. Entering the 89th minute here. Surely a goal either side. Could be the one that decides this. Let's see how adventurous MSVU is. They get it in quick. Oh, huge save by Kuzmic. How about those hands, Josh?
I mean, that's another one. Kuzmic coming up big for Kings. A
Really
great ball in
class,
transition
Gavis.
from Gavis.
Looking for the Lovegrove. That's Lucas coming across, the senior, making sure Lovegrove does not get anywhere near that net towards Gillis. We've had a couple saves, both sides of this game. I think both keepers have come up huge in the moments the teams needed them. We saw the shot from Volko over there. The Kuzmic stretched out for a couple big saves on those crosses and corners, get their hands up, not let the ball hit the ground. Gillis has come out a couple of times. Gavis had that opportunity to close down the angle.
It looked like the referee just said 3, maybe 4 minutes of stoppage time here. So plenty of time. All it takes is a moment.
I promise we'll let everyone in about extra time if we end up getting there. But for now, we have 3 minutes of intensity to get through right here. A lot of hearts are beating, both in the stands, on the field, on the benches. I'm sure everyone at home, Josh and I.
Absolutely.
This is fun. I love this. This is semifinal action right here. Kuzmic clears that. Doesn't quite get a hold of it properly. Chason steps up, takes that throw. Looking for some movement. Volkro first to it. Volko looking to hold up, try to turn. Big turn. Driving it in net, and that's Kuzma that comes out. It's a big save. I bet Padfield wanted that one on the cutback.
Absolutely.
The nutmeg on the turn, the push through.
And
Those
that
are
alone,
split-second decisions.
You can see the quality of Amanda Volko on full display there. I agree. If I was Padfield, I'd be asking for that ball.
Big save, though, by Kuzmic, coming out off her line appropriately.
You could almost see what was going on in Volko's mind, though. She could see the defender starting to cheat, starting to step out, trying to come back around.
That's
Another
my
good
Allen
opportunity
now.
for Allen.
Mikhail coming back. Trying to defend that. Touch away from Allen. Can she get her head up? Finds Volko. Takes a touch. Can she set herself up? Oh, huge touch there. That's Adams. Ball up for a corner. Can't be more than 1 or 2 minutes left. In regular time here.
I suspect that the Mystics will look to put this corner in that exact same area. If they can drop that ball right into the 6-yard box, there's a lot of danger that could come from that.
They brought Clark forward. Volko's short. Will they look to change the angle up with the short ball or just get this in? They will play this short. Oh, they can't quite pull that one off. Volko looks to use that decoy and cut inside. It's a good tackle, though, by Kings. Can't say I blame him for not necessarily getting that ball in straight. Kuzmic's hands have been really good. Ball out, though, is not good. Can transition back. Asher gets the poke away from there. Moores puts that back in. Just going to fall into the hands of Kuzmic. Not much more time here, folks. Extra time may be on the schedule. Header there by Chason. Allen this time. Getting that ball to safety. See the Mystics right now in their shape. Make sure they don't get broken down this last minute. Because the high of scoring a goal right now would be unbelievable. But the low of letting one in would be a lot to overcome too. Important tackle. Padfield tries to hold up. Can't quite get it. Falls to Farrell. Got Wheaton coming wide. Steele Heropoulos in the right place, right time. And that is the end of full time, which means we do have extra time for you. So let me take you through what happens now. I don't believe the break will be too long. We will have 2 15-minute halves. It is not golden goal, which means if someone scores, it will continue for at least that 30 minutes. It'll be split into 2 15-minute halves. At the end of those first 15 minutes, teams will simply switch halves. There's no real break at that point, but they will have an opportunity to attack each half. If there's a winner at the end of that 30 minutes, then there will be a winner. If not, we do go to a shootout. And of course, if we get to that point, we'll talk you through that one. But for now, we are guaranteed a bonus 30 minutes of soccer right here. So stay with us. We'll be back with you shortly once we get this underway. All right, welcome back. Teams are coming out for this first half of extra time. So, again, in case you missed it before we just went off air about 3 minutes ago, we are playing 30 minutes of extra time guaranteed. This is not golden goal, which means if a team scores, they can score again. The other team can always come back. It is 30 minutes guaranteed, split into two 15-minute halves, which means for all the players in the field, they have 30 more minutes. They have to put their bodies on the line to try to get this win, to get the opportunity to go to Summerside and the chance to play Holland College tomorrow in the ACAA Championship Finals. And we're underway. Kings gets us started. Josh, what are we looking for now in extra time?
At this point, I mean, I said earlier, no one's going to be feeling tired because of adrenaline. You're probably feeling pretty tired at this point. It's also, I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't expect late October to be sunny and like 20 degrees. It's like a summer day out here. I remember back in the day we played some of these games when it was snowing. So add that to the fact that, again, this has been 90 minutes so far of very competitive back and forth football. It's going to be a much more wide open next 30 minutes, I would guess. A lot more transition, a lot more opportunities, just because, again, when you put the energy into going forward, you don't quite have as much to come back. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of goals in this last 30.
And sometimes, too, it can go both ways where, like, you know, maybe you're putting bodies forward, right, and then you can't get back, but also sometimes means that, you know, you put a little bit less risk into what you're doing. Kings earns a corner here. And so I'm curious to see, you know, if either team really wants to come out on the front foot here, if both are more satisfied with, you know, hoping to play on the counter when they have their own spells of sustained possession, all that. I mean, we'll see how each team kind of plays into this. But, yeah, fatigue is a big deal. You know, kind of being excited for the moment of scoring the goal, but also a little bit nervous for being the reason it could happen against you. There's so many different things at play when you hit extra time in a game this big. It's a good delivery. And Gillis comes up. It's strong hands again from the keeper. Looks to counter quickly. Ball's up to Padfield.
As you
trying
can
to
see
hold
on that
this
far
up.
side of the field, there's a ton of space if they're able to find it.
Back to Allen. That's right.
Not quite able to see it. But a lot of space here for Allen to attack.
Pushing into space, trying to push past Adams.
Great tackle.
That's an important tackle by Adams again. The Kings' backline this game it just seems like they've been in the right spot at the right time. There's been good penetration from the Mystics, dangerous opportunities, but time and time again, Kings seems to be able to recover, help each other, make the tackle when they need to.
You can see there how much space is going to be open for this next 30 minutes. We just talked about it, and that was a perfect example. Tons of space as those Kings defenders were looking to track back.
Mystics do play this one short again. Somehow able to turn. That's Allen. Cuts inside, cuts it back, but that's a good touch. I think that's Theo Heropoulos that comes across to stop that. I don't know how that snuck through to Allen on the turn, but does a good job to create something out of nothing. Another opportunity now from a set piece. You see Kings has brought back a lot of people to defend this. Ball's in the box. Good delivery. Again, strong hands. Surprised, too, that it wasn't a foul. I think ref just lets that one go. I think it might have been called had Kuzmic dropped it. Nicolau can't quite keep that one in.
If it wasn't for the two goalkeepers, there is no chance this game would still be 0-0. I think both have been fantastic. Big saves on either side, already in extra time. Both have now come out to claim a fairly good delivery on a corner from each side. This game is tight because of how well each team is defending, because of how well each keeper is playing.
The hands have been so sure. It's just like each time they do come out, I don't think I've seen a single ball dropped. And sometimes those are the opportunities that can cost you. You go up, you try to claim it, the ball, kind of comes in your hands, you parry it, falls to somebody in a dangerous position. But no, they've both been so clean with their catches, so confident, coming out, claiming space. Can't ask for more, honestly.
Exactly.
Mystics now look to kind of have a little bit of possession. Moore's kicking out wide. It's Clark on the ball, looking for a pocket forward to Allen. Holds that up. Trudeau cuts it out to Adams out here. Adam into Lovegrove, looking to hold that up. Foul against Clark. A little bit too much holding on the back there of Lovegrove.
I think that's something King needs to look to keep doing, is get Lovegrove involved. You can see that the Mystic defenders, they're going to follow her into that space. They want to step, just as they did there. Yes, they've won the ball back a lot in those 50-50s, but just that one movement could open up a lot of space in behind for, on this side, Diodato to attack in behind. There's a lot of danger that can come from that when they have Lovegrove dropping in.
Hadfield play and roll there. Can't quite get that pass back though from Volko. Adams just gets rid of that one. Could be some fatigue setting in. It's hard to believe just how nice of a day it is out here, which for us is lovely.
It's fantastic.
Anyone viewing the game can't be happier, but at this point, you know, you're getting close to playing 100 minutes today. That heat, it really starts to add up. Pops to Allen. Tries to look across to Wheaton. You know, one player I'd like to potentially see come back into this game for the Mystics is Eshamar. She was in that first half of the first 45. I felt she was dangerous when she was in the game. Haven't seen her since that 45th minute, but maybe at some point if you're looking for fresh legs, that could be an option.
I would agree. Especially this deep into the game with the weather as it is. You can see hands on hips. You can see Allen. She looks gassed. I mean, she's had a fantastic day so far. And I genuinely think she's pretty dangerous. And if they're going to create an opportunity, she could definitely be on the end of it. But there's a lot of work that needs to happen out on those wings. There's a lot of up and down, back and forth that's going to happen. And I agree. I thought Mar started the game well.
Yeah, I mean, you can always, they've shown their fluidity, right, with their systems and where people can play in each of those different spots. Even if Mark came back in to put that effort down the wing, you can always move Allen back inside. Adams gets that one up. Clark comes across, gets there ahead of Lovegrove. And Lovegrove's hold-up play has been good. Diodato plays that one forward. That's Gavis and Chase.
Once again, the opportunities here, they're coming off of Lovegrove getting the ball to feet. And when she can get the ball to feet, it just gives Kings time to step further forward, right? To not get pinned so far deep. And you can see that she's playing fairly strong on the ball. The key is just going to be how do they continue to find her feet, and then how do they play off of it. Especially, again, into extra time like this, where every single back and forth on this field, every single run, especially for those wingers, for those wingbacks, it takes a lot out of you. So if you can find a way to pin the other team deep, this is where some opportunities just like this can come from.
Clark again gets there first. Volko able to step in. Little patient under pressure there. Nicolau driving. Yeah, I've really liked, since Nicolaus came into the game, I think she's been very positive. Looks to create, penetrate, wins them a corner right here. Like, I think if Kings wants to have some success right here, it'd be good for them to continue to try to work that ball to her feet, get her in space, play off of her. And with her not having started the game, I think there's a bit more energy in the tank.
I would agree. Honestly, it's the same thing on the left side with Diodato. She spent a bit of time on the bench mid-game as well, so she has a bit more in the tank than maybe some others. I thought both wings for Kings have been dangerous.
Looking to get that ball in. Musillo can't get that first. That's Farrell. Good step. Hatchew back to McKill. Good. Adams now on the ball.
You can see here, this is where some of those spaces could open up out wide.
Diodato looking to cut inside.
Looked like Gavis was making a run there.
Player down for Kings. Plays it out. It's Diodato. Looks like some contact that happened after. The baller went away. Referee deemed no foul. Hopefully those shoes okay. Moment here too for both teams to kind of take a breath, have a sip of water.
Looks like the Mystics are getting ready to make another change as well.
It looks like Diodato is okay. Good to see. Into the 10th minute here, that first half of added time or extra time. I think that is Mara coming into the game.
It's like it is.
That's Wheaton coming out. So Coach Sear thinking the same thing. It's good to get fresh legs on here. I think Wheaton's put in a good couple of shifts. She's played a few different times this game, come in, come out. But now we get Mara back into the game. She was really putting a lot of pressure on that UKC back line in that first half. Has pedigree too. Mara's been on the all-conference teams before. A first team all-conference member in 2021 and was on second team last year. She's proved she can do it. Been a big player for this Mystics team over the years. And she's a senior. So if there's anyone who would be prepared, could be her. That's her running after the ball here now. MSVU in the attacking third, tries to cut that back. That's Little though that steps into the gap. Playing off Iatru, or Nicolau.
With that change as well, we now have the same front four that started the game for the Mystics. And I thought they started pretty well. You know, the first 10 minutes or so, they did come out a bit more defensive, but from that, they really found their groove. They were able to find Padfield's feet a ton, playing off of it, lots of space to attack it behind. And I'm sure they would love more of the same.
Burton getting that touch on that before Gavis could. Diodato with a touch. Positive first touch, looking to penetrate.
Great tackle there. Great tackle.
Important tackle by Clark. She's been a rock back there this game, hasn't she?
Absolutely. For as much as we've talked about Kings looking to play off of the targets, that only works if you're actually able to play around some of the center backs with how well they've played. Just haven't quite been able to do it today.
Anna Lucas.
And honestly, the same can be said. The same can be said for those Kings center backs as well. I thought Padfield's played well up there. She's been a good target. She's gotten involved. But there's a reason it's 0-0. Kings center backs, they played well.
Busillo has had probably the best opportunity of the game for Kings to this point in that second half. Stopped by Gillis. Good hold-up play there by Gavis. Gets Diodato involved, but Morris comes back. Cleans that one up. Into the 13th minute of this first half of extra time. 2 minutes plus added before we switch halves. Adams under that one. Lovegrove checks in to open some space up for Gavis. Out now for a corner. 14th minute. Opportunity here from a set piece for the Blue Devils. We'll see if they bring Theodoropoulos forward. It looks like she is coming up. Georgia Gavis gets ready to take. Corner flag blowing over the ball here. It's a good delivery. Dangerous. Mystics able to clear initially. Chase on up. It's going backwards. Maya Allen able to put a foot through it. Mars giving chase.
As we've talked about, this is where some dangerous opportunities can come from. Transitioning out of a set piece, a lot of space.
He's looking to get a touch. Anna Lucas comes across. Again, solid. Second team all-conference player. Important for the Mystics in her senior year. Theoropoulos looking to take one on herself. Doesn't quite get enough behind it though, Josh.
That's the life of a center back, though. You step into space and you have that half second of time. All you're thinking is, how do I put this into that top corner?
Can confirm. I've been there. Believe me.
Does
Your
not
eyes
always-
light up.
It does not always come off, but if it does, you look
Oh.
like a hero.
Sure do. Volko looking to bring this ball down. Looking up at goal. It's an opportunity. It's not too far off. Kuzmic appears to have it covered. That is the end of the first half of extra time. Like I said, there's not much of a break here. Maybe a quick sip of water. The referees are going to ask both teams to switch sides, and we are getting started pretty much immediately. So we're not going anywhere. Coach Carter, Coach Sear, trying to give instructions to their players. At this point, though, it's really up to them to see what they have left in the tank.
At this stage, it really does just come down to grit and the adrenaline that you can feed off of. Everyone's tired at this point. Both sides are going to know that. Everyone is tired. It's just as warm for both teams out here. So it's just going to come down to who can find that half chance. Who can take advantage of that one opportunity that comes up.
Chance to be the hero, too, Josh. That's
it.
You only have 15 minutes. A goal here. I mean, it doesn't guarantee it yet because, we still have to play that 15. But a goal could be the goal that seals your ticket to Summerside to play at the national competition.
Absolutely.
This year. And we're off. Padfield gets us started, plays that back to Farrell. And the Mystics look to build. Follow to Rookie of the Year, Maya Allen again. Making a big impact here today. That's an opportunity. Pass from Mar to Volko. Kuzmic again. Strong hands. Gets down to the turf. Denies the Mystics.
Those can be tough opportunities to take this late in the game. Would have loved to see Volko try to maybe go far post there, see if she can find a bit more space. But that's two now in extra time that she's been able to find. Wouldn't be surprised if a third comes her way as well.
Burton just slowing that game down a little bit. Trying to keep some possession in it. Up to Padfield. Flick out wide to Allen, who's looking to drive at Adams. Cut back though, well caught out. That's Theoropoulos stepping into space. Crowd now is tense too. Both rooting for their teams. A lot of nerves, a lot of excitement, a lot of nerves though.
Absolutely. Great composure there from the Atcher.
Yeah, actually making sure that distribution happens. Been doing it all game.
Once again, staying composed on the ball.
Sometimes in that position, all you really ask for in a player is, can we play two-touch? Can you link us together?
A
Can
lot
you
of
stop
space here to
counters?
attack.
Nicolau. Good skill there to get around the outside of Chason. The good recovery. Does draw a corner. Opportunity now here for Kings. We're into that phase of the game where it's really in these situations is desperation defending in these corners, doing anything to get your head on the ball. Offensively, you're just trying to throw yourself at it.
It looks like here the Kings players, they're starting a lot deeper. They'll be looking to make, of course, those runs into those dangerous areas.
Gavis with that ball. They do get there first. It's a big block, though. I believe that came off of Clark. And then Clark's also there to clear that one for another corner. It's a good delivery. It's a good run. It was on net, too. That one would have had a chance.
Another great ball from Gavis as well.
Gavis's deliveries today have all been very good. No commenter. Jinx there. Another great one into a dangerous area. A good flick, though, by a Mystic defender. That one's going to just float softly into Gillis.
Could be an opportunity in transition here. Gillis is going to take her time.
Look to build up through Lucas. Into the feet of Burton. Good composure to still be able to play to the back. In a situation like this, can't make it work, though, this time. Ball go penetrating. Out to Allen. Adams has done a good job there at left back the second half. Faced a couple different MSVU wingers who we've seen have been active today. But I feel like Adams has been equal to the task, especially here as the game's gone on. Benefit to have been able to sit a little bit fresher legs for her. Good work there, no fouls. Good double, good help by the Mystics. Little break in the intensity here as the ball goes out. A lot of tired feet. Time for maybe a couple more opportunities in this one.
You can definitely see the fatigue starting to set in. Both sides are really taking their time on some of these throw-ins, some of these set pieces.
And of course, over these games, when you go into extra time, a lot of these players are running 12, 13, 14 kilometers by the end of this game. Takes a lot. Hoping you don't cramp up. Hopefully you're prepared for this. Ball into Busillo. Yeah, more good hold-up play by Lovegrove.
Great ball.
Finds Nicolau out wide. Can she keep it in? Not quite.
You can see there again what they're able to create once they can find that target, right? Lovegrove dropping in, getting that ball to feet, and she's able to find that half step of space. Pick out a great ball to the corner. Just not quite able for it to come off. But there's a lot of space to attack.
It's a loose
Another
pass by
opportunity
Lucas.
here.
Steps up into space, tries to make up for her own mistake. That's going to be a foul. MSVU are going to have to defend this. Let's see how many they bring back to help out. I imagine all 11 are going to be behind this ball right now.
It's likely one that, as you can see, Patfield's going to drop in and help too.
Looks like Gavis isn't on this one. Gonna feel Heropolis to swing this ball in. Looks like it's on that direct. No issue though for Gillis. Clean hands, safe hands. Gonna get the ball up the field this time. Ashu first to it. Allen back to Moores. Can't reconnect with Allen.
What? Did you ever get any feedback from anyone about your speeches? Okay. Okay.
Gavis on the turn. Comes out wide to Nicolau. Overlap by Atru. Can't quite squeeze it in. Good track back. Loose touch though by Lucas. Good body position. Clark comes across, cleans that up. To Chason now.
These are those bits of momentum that both sides are going to want to try to create. I expect Kings is going to use the next minute or two, try to press high up the field, right? See if they can just maintain this.
Shamar gets that one out. Kings now looking like they're in a little bit of control here of the game.
Good idea.
Ball
there.
over top.
Just gonna come out.
The Mystics can take a breath. Set themselves back up. Gillis plays it short to Lucas. Looks to carry into space. Mara plays that inside. Can Padfield hold that up? And they're finding that open space on the switch. Volko now brings that ball down. Looks for a space to shoot, but can't quite get her foot around it.
You can see the Mystics haven't quite been able to get Volko involved in the second half at a time as they did in the first.
Farrell's
Decent
under.
opportunity there, but I'm sure they'd like it on the ball even more. A great hold-up play from Padfield again, though.
Josh, we're entering the 24th minute now, which brings us to, what, the 114th minute of the game. So I'm sure both teams are thinking there's a possibility of penalties. Volko looking to squeeze through. Mar can't quite get it. We see Kings has a substitute ready to come in. Stepping forward is Shayson. Does win the throw-in for the Mystics. Will she go quick? She will. That's Eshamar now under the ball. It's going to float right into Kuzmic. So, Josh, both teams now have to be, at least it's in their minds now that this could go into penalty kicks.
Absolutely. It's similar to the end of regulation time, right? You're caught in the middle of trying to press, trying to get that goal. And I really do think both sides have had some opportunities in extra time that would give them that bit of confidence that they could make that push, they could nick a goal. But at the same time, of course, you also don't want to take too many risks. Because if you send too many people forward, especially with the tired legs that are on both sides right now, you could be leaving yourself vulnerable. And you know, as much as penalties can go any way on any day, you'd rather that than go down 1-0 with 5 minutes left.
And Didiadato just came out. Germain came back in for Kings.
Looks like Gavis has moved back out wide. I thought in that last 5 or 10 minutes of regulation time, she looked good out there. They were able to get her the ball. She was able to create some opportunities. I'm sure they'll be looking to do the same.
And I'd be surprised if we do make it to those penalty kicks. I have to imagine that Germain might be one of the takers then to get her back in the game at this point.
Likely, yes.
And Josh, to talk me through it, I mean, we both been in it together. But, you know, at this point, you got 5 minutes left. As you were saying, like, you know, do the risk of losing this now almost sometimes outweigh the risk of believing in yourself in those penalty situations?
I think oftentimes, yes. Especially players that maybe play in midfield.
Yeah.
That maybe play out on a wing. You may see for these last couple minutes, they're going to play a bit more safe. You know, an opportunity here for them out to press. But generally speaking, you'll see them sit a bit deeper, right? Center mids, they won't drift as far forward, more often than not at least, although we'll see what Kings is able to create here.
Hatcher was coming forward. This is really strong interplay from Kings. Gets the ball to Gavis in the wing. Can she create? Looks to cut inside. This is Germain. Gets the ball up. Gillis sees that one wide. It's a good build-up. I think you're right, though, Josh. I think sometimes, obviously, as an attacker, you're given everything to get this goal right now. But those midfielders who are the ones that have to go up and down, sometimes you're just kind of erring on the side of caution, right? Because the risk of losing it at this point, you know, like emotionally, the risk aversion is it creeps into your head, you know?
Absolutely.
Because, you know, if you go into pens, you still have that shot. The thing with pens is it's really 50-50, right? And so if you're a team that believes you can win this game and add it or in this extra time, really going for it can be important.
Absolutely.
Ball falls to Iatru. Gavis with a good touch to bring that down. Lucas clears, not as far though. She would have hoped. Burton gets an important touch. Volko now. Mar chasing. Into the 118th minute. It's a dangerous one. Gavis can't quite bring it down.
And Burton's someone who I've thought has had a fantastic game as well. I know we haven't called her name too much, but in the role she's playing, that's usually a good thing, right? It means there hasn't been too many mistakes, if any at all. She's been playing two-touch. She's been cleaning up defensively. I thought she's been fantastic so far.
So Josh, give me this point too. Give me an unofficial player of the game for each side. I know we don't get the call on who gets it at the end, but to this point, what would you say?
It's difficult. I mean, I think you could go with both goalkeepers, to be honest. I think there's probably 2 or 3 players of the game from each side, which I know is a bit of a cop-out answer. But there's been a lot of quality, especially defensively, right? I think Clark for the Mystics, she's been everywhere. She's been cleaning up. Theo Heropoulos for Kings, exact same thing, right? I think in a 0-0 game, especially like this, yes, each side has had some attacking moments, and there's some quality up there for sure. But you have to give as much credit as possible to those defenders, to the goalkeepers, for just creating the situation we're in now. One goal at this stage could win it.
And this could be an opportunity. The Blue Devils have a corner. We are entering in the 120th minute. There can still be added time. There was a substitution. We could have an extra minute on top of the last minute we've entered into here now. But there wouldn't be more than 2 or 3. So Gavis looks to get this ball in. It's dangerous. It's headed away from the Mystics. Busillo falls to her. Cleared by Volko.
Kings will look to keep the pressure up.
Nicolau has it. Little's wide, asking for it. Nicolau, though, looks to get that in herself. And Gil is safe hands.
An opportunity in transition now for the Mystics.
Gillis gets that ball. Hatcher's first to it, but goes over. Padfield hold up and the kill. Good job. Good double by Atchu. Falls though to Farrell. Will we have a moment of magic, Josh? Well, we got a minute or so to see.
Might be tough. You can see the tired legs. It was a lot of space in front of Allen there in transition. I can't blame her. It's tough. You play 120 minutes in the heat like this, high intensity game, as active as she's been, and she still is over there. Might be tough to find that moment in the last minute here.
We are officially into added time of extra time. Referee pointed to say 1. It's 1 minute of added time. We've already played about 15 seconds of it. Can't be more than 45 seconds. This could be the last opportunity. Potential last opportunity in transition here. Gillis is going to come out. Just clear her lines there. Moore's look to play forward. Can't quite finish that ball over top of Gavis. Gavis is driving now. This really could be the last opportunity. Good tackle.
That might just do it.
Doesn't look like there's any more subs coming in. So for anybody, too, who's listening, who isn't entirely sure how this works, the only people allowed to shoot in a penalty shootout are the players currently on the field. So if you are on the bench right now, you're not eligible. If you're on the field, that is who's able to take shots. We must have played about 1 minute now. That ball has been out on that touchline this most time. I imagine we'll hear this whistle any moment. Padfield, though, chasing.
Maybe one last opportunity here for the
Coming
Mystics.
across, Little in a good position defensively, though. And folks, there it is. At the end of extra time, we are still tied 0-0, which means we are off to a penalty shootout. We will be back with you shortly. Both teams have a couple of minutes just to kind of strategize and get set up. But you'll hear my voice again in 2 or 3 minutes. All right, folks, welcome back. It is time for the penalty shootout. And just a reminder to set the stage with this, how much is on the line right now for both teams. Obviously, this is a semifinal. The winner of this game does go on to compete for the ACAA championship banner and trophy tomorrow. However, with Holland College hosting the national championships this year in Summerside and having already won their semifinal, that does mean they've automatically qualified, and the winner of this game goes to nationals as well. So this is a shootout, not only for the chance to win ACAAs, but also to go to Summerside to compete at nationals in early November. So, first up to shoot, it looks like it's Kings, which means Gillis will be in net. This is Lovegrove stepping up to take the shot. Josh, what's it like being the team that shoots first compared to the team that shoots second?
Personally, I prefer to shoot, I was going to say second, but I'm second guessing myself anyway. It's good to know what you need to do, but at the same time, that can also add pressure, right? If you know you're the last shot, you need to score, it can be difficult.
Lovegrove puts that one in. That is 1 for Kings. That's a good penalty too, Josh. And for anyone too who's unfamiliar with how these operate, it is a best of 5 shootout. So, depending on how the shots stack up, we'll keep you posted on which one could be a game-winning shot. But it is a best of 5. Not sudden death or anything like that. So first up to shoot for the Mystics is Volko. Oh! That ball does not cross the line. That's a huge save by Kuzmic.
How about that? Post to post after the save. Couldn't have been any closer.
What an effort by Kuzmic to stretch out, just like she did in regulation time too, to stop that, which puts us up at 1-0 for Kings. Next to shoot is McKill. She goes wide left, which is a big sigh of relief for Mystics fans, but they do need to score one of their own. Stepping up to make that happen is Farrell. She's played all 120 minutes today in the center mid. Looking to tie this up at 1. She is able to. Puts that one high. Josh, those ones are the risky ones. Success rate, if it's on target, is higher if you can put that ball up. But also the risk of missing the net goes up too.
Risky for sure. And honestly, like penalties at this stage, they just come down to who has the composure, who can step up, calm their nerves, and just pick their spot.
This is Germain. Crossbar and not past the line, so that is a miss.
Right on cue, as we talk about the risk of going high in these penalties. That's what can happen, right? If that creeps under the bar, it's a fantastic penalty. But you also take the risk.
This puts the advantage to the Mystics here. If Burton, who's played a great game at pivot, is able to put this one home, that goes up 2-1. And she can. That's a strong penalty to keeper's right. Kuzmic can't quite reach it. That is 2-1 now. The pressure is officially flipped over to the Blue Devils. So a miss here from Kings and a score from the Mystics would end this game. So there is pressure. It's Georgia Gavis stepping up. A big-time shot here. Buries it.
Fantastic penalty right there.
That is cool under pressure. Side netting. Ties it up at 2, but remembers Mystics did shoot second. So Padfield has an opportunity to put them back ahead 3-2 in the 4th round of the shootout. Kuzmic comes up big. That's a save, Kings. which means officially now it is sudden death. Because it's a best of 5, so here if Kings scores and MSVU doesn't, or vice versa, this game is done. If both teams score or both teams miss, we will keep going. Pressure's now on for Little. Steps up, makes no mistake. Kings now in control. Clark now, Sasha Clark, 3rd year, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, center back.
How about the pressure here? This is a tough one to step up and take.
So Clark needs to score this to keep this going, or else Kings is going to the championship. She is able to squeak that in. Kuzmik gets a hand on it, but not quite enough. So folks, we are officially in a sudden death. And Josh, the keepers have been good here. A couple of saves, couple of hands on these. Adams now looking to step up to the shot. Thought she's had a great game at left back. Puts that pass of Gillis. Pressure shifts back to the mount. Paige Moores now steps up. Semi-final matchup. All figures this shootout is just as close as the game was, eh, Josh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Paige Moores needs to score. Does! Puts power behind it, finds the corner. Kuzmik looked like she wanted to go the opposite way. Busillo is a first-team all-conference selection for Kings. Up to take a sudden death penalty shootout kick. Been first-team all-conference both years. The pressure. Finds the net. That one's calm, cool, collected too. Side netting. Nothing Gillis could have done even if she guessed right. And now Maya Allen stepping up. Rookie of the year.
How about this for pressure? In your first year, stepping up to take a sudden death penalty.
Needs this one to keep the Mystics in it. And it's saved by Kuzmik. That's a win for the Blue Devils. They are moving on to the championship game tomorrow. They will also be progressing to the CCAA National Championship at the start of November. Hard-fought game. Great opportunities both ways. It's tough to lose in PKs. Everybody knows when it gets here, it can go both ways. Mystics, congratulations on a great season. To the seniors, congratulations on a great career. I hope everybody walks off the field proud. To King's College, though, the Blue Devils, congratulations. We'll see them in action tomorrow against the Holland Hurricanes. To all of you who have tuned in, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.